How rejection causes self-destruction. The first thing, like letter A, the phrase, how rejection causes self-destruction, stands for the manner in which or the way in which rejection brings self-destruction. Rejection means refusal of a romantic advance, while self-destruction means the act of something destroying itself. In this context, self-destruction means the act or process of destroying or greatly damaging one's position in a game, in one's work or career, in one's financial or social position, etc. Or it simply means the act or process of destroying oneself. How rejection causes self-destruction means how refusal of a romantic advance causes one to destroy oneself or to greatly damage one's position in a game, in one's work or career, in one's financial or social position, etc. In this context, the person of the opposite sex who normally rejects the other person does not undergo the self-destruction process, but the person of the opposite sex whose romantic advance gets turned down or rejected is the one who can have chances of undergoing self-destruction if not able at the moment to quickly manage the negative turnout of events without undergoing self-destruction. Rejection can be compared to an adversity owing to the reason that it opposes one's wishes or expectations, and it can cause some people to be crushed or to be overwhelmed with sorrow or grief, while it can teach others the lesson of outperforming more individuals in the context of maintaining the practice of not relying on others to be source of one's happiness or approval. This is correspondent to the quote of William Arthur Ward, which states that adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. Besides this, according to Jonas Ressam, being emotionally dependent on other people can really make your life miserable. If that person fails to make you happy, you will become disappointed and frustrated. The following is how rejection causes self-destruction. When one's romantic advance gets rejected by the other person of the opposite sex, one loses the motivation of doing formal activities one used to do with the person who refused the romantic advance. Motivation means willingness of action, especially in behavior. To motivate means to provide someone with an incentive to do something, to encourage, to actuate. The thing which makes those whose marriage proposals have been rejected to lose motivation of continuing to work together with those who have rejected them is disappointment and knowledge that never in a million years will their expectations be met. Getting disappointed comes from first having expectations which end up going unfulfilled or unmet. According to Ryan Reynolds, when you have expectations, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. Unmet expectations causes disappointment, which causes demotivation, and when motivation is lost upon one's proposal being rejected, the rejected person may lose the drive of continuing to support or work with the person who rejected him or her. This event has a higher possibility of causing relationship failure. Secondly, rejection causes self-destruction when the person whose proposal has been rejected decides to end the action of investing in a group of people who can perhaps be connected to the person who performed rejection. This action can be triggered by the state of being discouraged in keeping on to give help or support to the person who rejected one, or to the group of individuals who are connected to the person who rejected the other person. To be discouraged means to lose enthusiasm, interest or eagerness of doing something. Being discouraged in this context can normally arise from the reality that despite the amount of works or actions the rejected person can perform, the person who has rejected his or her romantic advance can still decide never in a month of Sundays to change mind about who to be prioritized first for love and romantic partnership, and who to be indifferent to and taken as an option. Those who end the action of investing in people who they expected to be their romantic partners after helping them develop normally perform the action of helping with expectations, and some of them get disappointed in the end upon those who they have helped decide to reject their romantic advances. This kinds of generous actions lacks the virtue of helping without expectations, and they are based on giving with the anticipation of expecting something in return from those who have been helped. A common example exists in the cases where some men who sponsor the education or personal development of some ladies normally face disappointment when the ladies who they helped under the condition of marrying those ladies at the end of investment decide to betray or fail to keep the promise of being their better halves after finishing being helped to grow in life. If there were more investments which these men were planning to perform or were already in the process of doing, but the ladies of this type changed the decision in order to not keep their promise, men who would like to marry them terminate their investments. Relationships which are created based on these conditions are transactional in nature, and the help in which one party gives the other party with anticipation of having a particular expectation to be met is not a freely done action of generosity, but it is business in nature, due to the party which gives expects to be given something, and the which receives expect to give something to pay for the help given. This stays in accordance with the quote of Gerbich Chahal, which states that, if you're helping someone and expecting something in return, you are doing business, not kindness. Most individuals don't like helping without expecting anything in return because they view it as a loss they will face, while those who can help without expecting anything in return may not be many in particular areas. In line with John Mead, when you can give without expecting anything in return, you have mastered the art of living. Rejection can cause self-destruction when one reaches a level of being dejected and makes a decision of terminating communication which used to be done between the rejected person and the person who rejected such a person. Moreover, the rejected person can end communication or interaction with the group of people who were colleagues or friends of the person who refused a romantic advance. This can come due to the rejected person facing shame and disgrace of facing, or to fear being seen by those who normally associate with the person who refused the proposal. Furthermore, shame and disgrace that makes one cut off communication and interaction, in addition to changing geographical location in order not to be ever seen or heard of again by those who have known this reality, under the condition that the negative turnout of this event led to reputational damage which makes one to perform self-isolation. According to David R., shame, as a level of consciousness, can immobilize and destroy lives. It leads to withdrawal, hiding, and a sense of worthlessness. In reaching the point of terminus, it is cut and dried to state that rejection is a state which can make one to lose motivation of doing things, discouragement, termination of communication, ending of interactions, termination of investments, termination of relationships, withdrawal and self-isolation, leaving one's work or career, leaving one's financial or social position, and much more negative outcomes.